Welcome back to Pop-Up Tech Talks. We're here at VMworld 2017 US. I have Scott with me here. Scott, go ahead and introduce yourself for the camera.
Sure, I'm Scott Harney. I'm a consulting systems engineer with Round Tower Technologies. I work in data center infrastructure with a focus on storage and backup. Mostly pre-sales, but a little bit of post-sales delivery as well.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being here. So we were chatting a little bit earlier. We were talking about the evolution of the IT admin. Everybody knows coding's part of it. Everybody knows they need to get on automation, but there's still a few stragglers. We were talking about some tips you might have to help get them, bring up their bootstraps, get them into the modern world, and hopefully future-proof their career.
Right. This morning in the keynote, Pat Gelsinger and team, they were talking a lot about Kubernetes and infrastructure as code and a lot of concepts that a lot of IT admins I encounter in a traditional vSphere environment is not part of their world yet, right? But they realize it's coming. So what can those people do? You know, what should their focus be? And I get some resistance sometimes from customers about when I talk about automation. My position to them is your goal should be to automate yourself out of your job, right? So, and there's some benefits to that. One is you're never going to succeed, right? Two is you're going to improve your stance with the organization because you are going to have success at a lot of individual tasks. And lastly, you're going to become more valuable to the organization and you're going to learn so much more because you're going to understand things that really, honestly, you never understood because you didn't try to, you continue to do them the same way, clicking through the interface, repeating the task over and over and over again. When you sit and stop and think, are there things that I do every day that are repetitive, that something can be done essentially with a for loop? What are those tasks, right? And that's really where you start. Language choice doesn't matter, except in the sense if you are, if you're all Windows shop today, there's a very, very good chance that somebody's provided a PowerShell integration for the components that you have. The NetApp PowerShell toolkit is excellent. I'm a Linux guy primarily, so that's where a lot of my focus has been, but I've done a lot of work in PowerShell because that's where a lot of my customers are, and I need to be where they are. At the same time, I would tell you, don't be comfortable. If you're comfortable with what you're doing every day, find something that's hard that's not comfortable. Learn Linux, learn Git, get an AWS account and try and figure out why does everybody care about this? If your company isn't doing AWS or they aren't doing Google Cloud or they aren't doing Azure today, but it's being talked about and they're kind of shying away for business reasons, eventually they're going to get there. And it would be better for you to be familiar with that technology than to be the guy who doesn't know what's going on.
That sounds like a really good way to find yourself out of a job, is to not know it when the time comes.
Right, and there's some real practical steps you can take just by, like I said, by learning PowerShell or learning coding tasks to just automate those little bitty things that take them in bite-sized pieces today and take those things out of your way. I'm not going to tell you that those things, there are lots of things that you automate that if you did them by hand, initially, you'd do them quicker, right? It's an investment in time that pays off further down the line in terms of both education and because if your environment grows or if you move on to a much larger environment, you're going to have those skills in your tool chest. It's as simple as that. And the reality is, a lot of small environments are a lot larger than they used to be. Right? I have customers who have half a petabyte of management. It's one storage admin who's also the VMware backup guy. He's also the admin of all the things in the environment, and he dabbles in a little SQL and SharePoint too. That's a lot to have to do, and that's a lot to have to know. So at that point, automating some of those things becomes essential. And that's not just choosing a platform that has a lot of automation. In a lot of cases, you're going to have to do this by hand because you have what you have today.
That's some great news. There's all kinds of cool classes I've seen. Learn PowerShell in 30 days on your lunch break, some other cool ones. So that's fantastic. One final question to wrap here. What are you more scared of, the zombie apocalypse or being overthrown by our AI robot overloads?
Zombie apocalypse. Prepare every day.
Smart man right here. Thanks for watching Pop-Up Tech Talks. If you like what you see, please hit the like button on YouTube, give us a subscribe, and leave us a comment. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.